What happened to Endion Blast and what will be happening with it moving further? Let's actually go through the current situation, figure out why it has dumped to $12 million market cap, what is going to happen next with the asset, are we going to zero, why it will actually be pumping to 100 million plus in the months of August. I will share my thought process as well, and we will go through a very important video on how to value meme coins, and we will try to answer the question ourselves: is Endion Blast as a meme coin asset undervalued or overvalued at the market right now? And maybe there are some additional liquidity inflows in the future that will significantly increase the value of the asset. As meme coin investors, we have to understand these things very specifically. Without further ado, let's actually start. I've outlined a short plan that we will stick to, and I will talk about these points currently during this video. The first one is Blast volume is dead. There is a lot of talk on the market about the fact that Blast volume is dead and nothing is happening on the chain and here and there. And in general, Blast community right now, it's not a very positive community, I would say. People had expectations and they kind of cry a lot at this stage. Well, it's up to them. Personally, I don't think that we should rely fully on the chain. We have the example of Bread on Base. Base is a dead chain pretty much. Without meme coins, it does not have anything at this stage. Yet, Bread is thriving. I do think we should have the same situation with Endion Blast. I think we should be focusing on marketing our thing and focusing our narrative outer chain, because from the day one, it's actually outer chain narrative. It follows Boys Club, it follows Pepe on Ethereum. Therefore, it's outer chain narrative. And this is what was my initial and main point with Endion Blast as well. It's actually quite attractive for people who are coming from outer chain, and it's easy to understand the narrative as well. Very easy. It's well marketed at this stage. People who you are following on the marketplace, they saw the value in Endion Blast since day one as well. The goal right now is to figure out, will there be any liquidity inflows? What will be happening with this sector on the market moving further? I do tend to want to see Blast as a plus with certain developments on the chain, with things happening there, and like this chain, it definitely will be doing very well this cycle. With certain developments happening there, they will essentially just be adding additional liquidity into Endion Blast. But it's very important to kind of view these things separate of the chain as well, as essentially it's a separate narrative, a separate blue chip meme token. There are no memes of this quality on the marketplace currently. No memes with this quality of art, with this quality of video content as well. No memes like that on the marketplace at this stage. And that's why I actually think it's heavily undervalued at this stage. We'll go through this point a bit further in the video as well. Was not moving through the recent pump. One of the main issue points is that through the recent pump, when we were going from 53k to 67, 68, Endion Blast was not moving. It was pretty much just holding $20 million market cap, right? It also held $20 million market cap during the largest liquidation event since FTX. And I would say this is the main reason of why it was not moving, because people were not selling beforehand, and that's why the thing was not essentially pumping afterward, because people were not re-entering into their positions, as they've done on a range of other memes as well. They were selling other memes and they re-entered into the pump. With Endion Blast, they were not selling it, that's why they did not re-enter. Currently, through the recent dip on Ethereum meme coins and refocus into Solana stuff, short term, we definitely saw a certain dip. We dipped at about 40% at this stage. Imagine what will be happening during the reversal of Ethereum and Ethereum pump as well. We should be receiving crazy liquidity inflows with all the people rebuying essentially because of the liquidity flowing into Ethereum meme coin asset. There is a very small amount of blue chip Ethereum meme coin assets. And once larger things, safer things, they will get overpriced, overvalued. There will be very limited upside in them. People will be looking more and more into other blue chip assets. And in comparison to the approach, in comparison to the quality of everything that's happening with this project, I can definitely say it undervalued at this stage. But we will talk about it a bit further in the video as well. dumped through around 0.19 level. So we definitely had this dump through 0.19 level recently. Partially it was connected with the fact that I became a bit inactive because I was going through certain sickness. At the same time, it's interestingly connected with the situation in the marketplace, because we had Ethereum ETF, we had huge expectations on the marketplace for Ethereum ETF, and we essentially repeated the scenario with Bitcoin ETF. The exact same thing happened. It started trading, and for 2 weeks we were dumping and consolidating a bit, whilst people were awaiting more and more inflows, because all these funds, they have to launch their marketing machines and marketing campaigns also, and it's not like a very fast type of process for people to kind of make decision to allocate a certain percentage of their portfolio into Ethereum as well. But what we have on the chart is just a very beautiful thing, and I do honestly love the current situation a lot. The main reason for that is because, to be honest, we needed this correction. We needed this dump. I do think that there was not too much upside for new holders to enter at $20 million market cap. Currently, it's way more lucrative. $12 million market cap for the Pepe narrative meme with crazy upside, with crazy numbers before. This is just a very nice buy. Like if you would show this chart to any type of person out there, 3.5x is from the highs, actually probably even more, because we were as high as $60 million market cap, and right now we're at 12.5, right? Anyone would just tell you that this is a great chart to be entering at these levels. What I also wanted to show you is that this is textbook accumulation scenario. We're going through these pumps and dips, and we are going through it on the volume. You can definitely see the volume right here. You can definitely see that we have nice volume spikes on each and every pump and dip as well. This is a very important thing. This is a classic textbook accumulation scenario, and I can actually share with you what happened with previous meme coins when they were going through this scenario like this. This is the chart of Momo and Solana, exactly the same thing. Do you see what this accumulation was followed? Like we are here with Andy on Blast currently. It was followed by 10x move in 33 days time frame. 10x move for Momo. This is just crazy. Ponke, exactly the same scenario, exactly the same. I would say that we are somewhere here right now. This is a textbook accumulation as well, which was followed by 11x moves in 30 days as well. We have to understand what is happening on this chart. We have to understand. And the very interesting thing that I've just done myself, what I did, I copied the fractal from this previous dip and I copied it here. But I did it several days ago, right? You can probably see that we had this dip to $10 million market cap, right? And then I just copied the fractal because, as you can see here, we dipped a bit more here right after, and then we surged up. And I just copied the fractal. You can see that we are specifically repeating this movement. We're specifically repeating this part from the fractal. Right here. We're specifically doing that. You can see what happened with the fractal right after. This is just a copy of the fractal. They tend to rhyme. And we definitely see volume spikes. We definitely do see volume spikes through the accumulation as well. This is textbook accumulation we are seeing on the asset currently. It's very bullish. It means we are accumulating and consolidating for so much time. It means that the move will be just crazy. We've been accumulating here for 141 days already. 141 days. Do you understand what is happening? Do you understand what will be happening short term? And the market setup is very interesting, because what we have to focus on is liquidity inflows, and I will share some information on this as well. Is something happening market-wise? And the catalyst. The main thing is obviously Ethereum ETF. The main thing is the drop in Bitcoin dominance. The main thing is just enormous liquidity inflows coming into our space. We have to understand that even conservative projections of the market cap of the whole crypto market is from $8 to $12 trillion by the top of this cycle. We did not even have the drop in Bitcoin dominance at this stage. The main catalyst for us is Ethereum ETF. There are people saying that, oh, like Grayscale will be selling and nothing is happening, things like that. Give it some time. There are zero reasons for Ethereum ETF to behave anything differently from BTC ETF. And as mentioned, BTC ETF pushed the price of Bitcoin from $28,000 to $75,000, which is almost a 3x. It's pretty much a 3x increase. Imagine Ethereum at $9,000. Imagine the amount of liquidity that Ethereum whales will be getting from this type of action. And we will be seeing all of this unleashing before our eyes. And what we have to understand is these people will be looking to outperform Ethereum. They will be looking to put the money into Memecoins. They will be looking to put the money into Ethereum Layer 2s. And they will be looking to put the money into Andy on Blast as well. As premier Ethereum beta, it's paired to Ethereum. You can see raw Ethereum right here. And it's also in the category of the most performing assets. And it also follows the narrative of Pepe. And it's like the market cap is very, very low in comparison to what the asset actually has to provide. In comparison to how you essentially value meme coins. There are a range of assets out there with way weaker narrative. They have way weaker quality. They just don't give a shit about the project in the first place. They have a larger market cap. They have a large amount of liquidity stacked into them. We all have to understand these things. It makes me very, very bullish. As mentioned, I did not sell a dime. I'm even holding my buys of $50,000 from $30 million market cap and $40 million market cap that I've done pretty much during the time where we were dipping from the all-time highs around the airdrop event, right? Why does not pump and when it should pump and why? As mentioned, I explained already why it did not pump before. The main reason is because it was not oversold. As mentioned to you, a lot of older memes, they were pumping not because like new liquidity is coming, they were just pumping because they were oversold and people were buying based on FOMO. And now what we see, the situation in the marketplace that we see is that a lot of these memes, they're not doing very, very well. So it was like a short-term pump where bottom buyers, they pretty much just got their profits and they took their profits. And all the people who bought the tops of these small pumps, they wrecked currently. It's very, very important to understand what is happening as well. This accumulation to me just looks like crazy. Just look at Mumu, just look at Ponke. This is exactly the same thing. Three tops, and then it just surges 10x at least like crazy. This is exactly what is happening. And right now, like the point to entry, like you cannot find a better point to entry than currently. And there would never be a better point to entry into this asset as currently. I don't think we will go lower. We are exactly following the trend line. We are printing the exact pattern that we were printing right here previously. Exactly. Dot to dot. Exactly the same thing. And it's just a textbook accumulation scenario. This is just crazy to understand. Just don't know anything about the asset. Just remove all the things that I'm saying about liquidity, about chains. Just purely look at this chart. Give this chart to someone else. Don't tell what token is on the chart. Ask them, what do you think will be happening next? This is just crazy to see. Especially when you would look at Momo and you would look at Ponke. And there are a bunch of examples like this on the marketplace as well. The main reason why we should be pumping is liquidity inflows from the ecosystem, liquidity inflows from Ethereum. It's definitely not like a best type of scenario in the moment currently for Pepe, for Bread. These assets right now, they've been correcting. I would say that focus was more directed into Solana ecosystem because Ethereum dumped quite recently and Solana is holding nicely and surging up, surging higher, right? But Ethereum should be surging up as well. And I have one thing to share with you. Something I wanted to share from Brand from Bossman Calls. GM, Ethereum BTC has come down in its corrective channel again this week. But I don't know if I've ever seen a chart went up so tightly, especially on the weekly time frame. This would be its third low in the channel, the most common for a bottom. With the ETF and other positive catalysts, there is a solid chance this will be the final low before ETH BTC rockets back to new highs above 0.01. Do you remember that Anson was calling for $70 per Solana? when we were correcting at the bottom. And right now, he's screaming at the top of his lungs that Solana will continue to heavily outperform Ethereum. We will see what will be happening. I personally think that Ansem is a BlackRock puppet, and his whole scenario currently is to make people poor, the one that follow him, to kind of remove this main character, because if you were watching South Park, you remember that Americans, they love to sacrifice main characters. So it's very, very important to remove this sign of the main character from yourself at a certain point of time, right? I will be swapping a bit more Bitcoin and Sol for Ethereum as it heads down. Historically, a pump in Ethereum BTC usually corresponds with an altcoin bull run, so this should be great for all our backs. Ethereum and the rest of the majors are moving on up. I've warned you relentlessly for months that there would be a final wave of FUD, but we'd shoot back up to the March highs soon. I am the only person on this market who is actually talking about 75k on the dip, in the bottom. Bran probably was one of them as well, essentially, with the Bosman calls. But we'd shoot back up to the March highs soon. We must break 73k. $4,500 per Ethereum, 210 for Solana, but there is a very good chance the correction bottom is in. $100,000 Bitcoin, $7,000 Ethereum, 400 Solana is my base case for the next 6 months. Ethereum could be halted for a bit with Grayscale still clipping into the open market, but it should eventually take the lead. Lock the fuck in. This could be the wildest next year crypto has ever seen. But it should eventually take the lead. Ethereum should eventually take the lead. I was showing you the pairs of Ethereum and Solana. It seems like it's a bit toppy, like the pair of Solana to Ethereum, right? This is the pair of Solana to Ethereum. To me, it seems a bit toppy. It seems like Ethereum should start to outperform Solana. It seems like it might be already be starting currently. If it will be starting, we can look at 25% of outperformance of Ethereum above Solana, which would mean that Ethereum would be moving 25% higher than Solana, which pretty much means if you would, at this stage, if this scenario will happen, if you would put $1,000 into Ethereum and $1,000 into Solana, your growth will be 25% higher in Ethereum, right? And what's interesting is that Ansem is sharing this exact thing, and he's saying that we are going higher. We are due to break out. I was right when I was saying we're not going to 40k, we're not going to $70 per Solana. I said that Ansem is wrong, and he will be wrong, and it will be a public humiliation. It was 100%. And currently, I'm also saying we should see outperformance of Ethereum above Solana, at least short term, 100%. This is my bet as well. Let's check out what will be happening with this statement as well. Let's check out if he will be wrong on the major thing in the market second time in a row. I think that he actually will be. And Bran agrees with me here, saying that Ethereum should eventually take the lead. If Ethereum should take the lead, then what you should be doing is positioning in Ethereum meme coins currently, the ones that are oversold. I'm not sure if you can actually find a better chart for an entry on the market than Indian Blast at this stage. Check out all the charts, check out all the memes, tell me. I showed you the correlations with Mumu and Punke. I showed you multi-months accumulation channel, accumulation textbook pattern. Tell me what will happen next. Tell me what your gut tells you. It's crazy to see this thing currently. And I know some more information. I know some marketing efforts. I know some centralized exchanges as well. I know that crazy things are coming. But overall, doesn't matter. What matters is just liquidity inflow into the ecosystem. What matters is that people constantly looking for better place, for undervalued better place. There is a very low amount of high quality memes on Ethereum and Ethereum ecosystem that you can actually be entering, especially with this level of quality that are this undervalued at this stage. You have to understand this thing is flooded heavily because people are constantly thinking about the correlation connection with Blast. It's on Blast, right? As same as Brett is on base. So what? It's fine, it's alright. We should not be basing the value of the meme coin based on the value of the governance token of the chain and some things that happen on the chain. It's an outer meme following crazy narrative of this thing. It's flooded because of the thing that happened with Blast. It's oversold because it just dumped through the recent correction, through the expectations of Ethereum ETF not coming to fruition. Do you understand? And on top of that, with me stopping talking about this thing because I was fucking sick and I was taking antibiotics. Do you understand what is happening? Do you understand what type of opportunity you're actually exposed to currently? This is the time to act from my point of view. This is the time to act. But again, I'm not your daddy. Do what the fuck you want. Meme value. I also wanted to share a part of the very nice video from Crash yesterday. He pushed it on his Twitter, so I'm not sure if a lot of people actually saw this. And definitely not a lot of people, like out of these 58,000 views, I think less than 1,000 people actually watched this video fully. Imagine like what is the edge that you actually have on this market if you're just digesting, learning, analyzing, and moving further with the content that is actually presented to you. This is golden information. Let's take a look at the part. We're not going to check out the whole video during this video, just at the part that I like the most.
So ultimately, you see these coins, and you'll say, oh, the Soy Boy Club is behind it, wah. Sometimes you'll see they'll start at 70 million. Sometimes you'll see they'll start at 5 million. But here's the thing, you need to be correct about the ultimate value. Is the value 0? Is it 100 million? What is the speculative value of that asset? Regardless of the Soy Boy Club, right? You need to look at these things. And if an asset launches at 70 million, but it's a worthless speculative thing, it's not done correctly, it's going to trend towards 0. Now, if you have an asset that, goes around 2 million and it's a 0, value thing, it can go up a little, right? Your cabal, your fucking Soy Boy Club can shill it while they're playing Fortnite, and it's going to lose hype and traction, it's going to trend towards its value, 0. Now, if you find something that is at 5 million and it's legitimately a $100 million asset, look, Soy Boy Club can get involved or not. It will find its way to 100 million eventually. Now, does it have a ceiling beyond that? Well, that's up to you to decide and look at the speculative value. Or is that just the top? Like, is that its potential and its reach, And then after that, people don't really feel much of a reason. It kind of just hovers below 100 million, maybe towards 0 or in between 0 and 100 million forever, because that's really the ceiling for this, this meme and its speculative value. So it just goes between there. If you find something that's 2 million that legitimately has a $5 billion plus speculative value, for example, like Brett, really in reality it's a $20 billion plus asset LARPing right now as a 1.3 billion market cap asset. See, now whether the Soy Boy Club is involved or not, this is an asset that has this type of value. And the Soy Boy Club can talk trash. They can say, oh, it sucks. Who's talking about it? Blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter. Because there's a price on this asset and there's an actual speculative value that, regardless of what anyone in the world says, right? The speculative value is what reigns supreme above all cabals, Soy Boy Clubs, above me, above fucking anyone. What's the fucking value of a thing? If you can get that right, that's where you can start to, not be below the Soy Boy Clubs. It's the value and then realizing there's a price. And then there's a gap between the price and the value. So if you're at 70 million is your price, but the value is 0, you're going to 0. If you're at 100 million, the value is 10 million, right? You're going to go to 10 million. So who is able to objectively determine the value of things? Well, that's the impossible thing, or for most people, it seems like it's the impossible thing, is who is the one who gets to value the memes? I believe I am able to value memes better than any person on this entire world right now. I don't think there's a single soul or human in this entire world that knows how to look at memes and know the value of them better than me.
So the main topic of the video is how to value Memecoin assets and what is like the speculative value of the Memecoin asset. We can value Memecoin assets in different ways. For example, we have Breton Base, which is blue character on blue chain, following the exactly same narrative as End Blast. Breton Base is $1.3 billion market cap. End Blast is $13 million market cap currently, 100x lower. Second thing we can do is we can assess the share of the chain and the share of the meme coin. Breton Base is 40% of the total value of base chain, 40% of all the capitalization of everything that's happening on base chain. End Blast currently is 0.5%, if not even less, of Blast. Default measurement is at least 5%. I'm not talking about 40 because it's just enormous. Default measurement is just 5%, which should 10x us at least from here, at least. The other thing how you can value a meme coin asset is just compare them with the other things on the market. There are some things in hundreds of millions. Ask yourself, what is the quality of this thing? What is the team doing? Do they have the same approach in the work? What is the art? What are the partnerships? What are the exchanges? What is happening? This is just so crazy to see and to understand. The only question you should be asking yourself, whether or not this thing is undervalued, yes or no. If yes, why the fuck you are sitting on your hands? Why the fuck you are doing nothing? Sitting there shaking, being afraid, probably sold to buy back lower. Crash is one of the best people in the marketplace to value the assets of meme coins. Day one, of the launch of End Blast, he knew about it. He told to someone in his close circle to buy into this asset. Unfortunately, it did not happen. But he saw the value of this thing since day one. You need to see it as well. There is no better entry point than currently. Current entry point is just divine. It's just awesome. It's just so crazy at this stage. Fractal is 100% copying the fractal that we had before. Again, I'm not your daddy. It's up to you what to do. I might know some things about some marketing, about some exchanges. I might see the market for what it really is, with all the crazy Ethereum ecosystem inflows. And in general, if you believe that the capitalization of crypto market will go up, it's a no-brainer. This thing will go up as well, 100%. That's up to you what to do. I'm just sharing my information and sharing what I am doing myself on this channel as well. Thank you very much for watching this video. I'll be seeing you tomorrow. Bye-bye.